What's going on, TW fans? Thomas here, bringing you another week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. Summer is rapidly approaching here in most parts of the country, and don't you worry, we still got a ton of stuff rolling in to keep you guys on the water, getting bit, all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, now we are dealing with the pleasure boaters, but that's all right. There's still some quiet coves that we can tuck into and hopefully catch a few fish. All right, we're going to jump right in with a new one from 6 Sense. We got the 6 Sense line through treble head. This thing has been gaining a ton of popularity for a lot of good reasons. You know, this kind of style of head is getting a little bit more popular. A lot of guys were kind of DIYing it for a while. Well, 6 Sense has got us covered with a product made specifically for it. So you got this nice little screw lock keeper on the back, got a cool bait fish head up front, but what makes it special is this line through design. So we had one rigged up, you know, real heavy line on here just to make it easier to see. But what I like about these things, quite a few things actually. One, your hookup ratio is gonna be fantastic. Two, once you do hook up that fish, the treble hook can actually separate from the bait and it slides freely here. So that takes away any leverage that the fish may have had before to throw this bait once you do get them hooked up. Super, super important. It's versatile as well. You know, if you find the fish are short biting, you know, just nibbling at the tail, you can actually move this treble hook, you know, farther to back. Probably wouldn't go too far back here, it's gonna kill the action on it, but you can really adjust this treble hook to really fit your needs. It also is gonna give it a little bit of snag resistance here. You know, you're gonna bury this treble hook, one of the points up top, so you're still gonna be able to kind of crawl this one along the bottom. It's gonna hang up a little bit less. So, you know, some of the standard swim baits that actually come with the treble hook mounted to the bottom, you can't really drag those along the bottom like you can with these, which can be key certain times of the year when those fish are really keyed in. They like that bottom contact. They like that swim bait just kind of crawling along the bottom. So you can do that with this bait. So really, really cool. Gonna optimize your hookup ratios. Terrific detailing features up on the head itself. And like I said, it's just gonna really optimize your hookup ratio. I like it, I dig it. Available in a bunch of different sizes, so you can do everything from little tiny swim baits, big swim baits. You can cover every section of the water call. Cool bait. All right, we got a whole new brand to Tackle Warehouse this time. So Tackle Warehouse has now brought in Nikko Fishing. Nikko Fishing has a whole range of soft plastics that we are currently carrying. Make sure to check them out on Tackle Warehouse. I'm only gonna go over a couple of cool ones with you today, just 2 of them. So make sure you head over to the website to check out the whole rest of them. First up, we have the Nikko Craw. This thing is rad. Super, super durable plastic, so really stretchy. Sometimes with these really, really lifelike craws, you know, you have the micro appendages on the side, the antennae on the front. It can kind of suck when they're not durable at all. You know, you get one fish to come in, tear off a claw, tear off a whole arm, rip off the antennae, and these things aren't always cheap. You know, so it's nice when you get a nice durable one that's gonna last bite after bite, fish after fish. But the realism on this thing, next to none. I mean, you have the molded eyes on here. Like I said, kind of all those little micro legs on there. The micro legs even have little appendages on the front, little claws. Pretty cool. So just really, really lifelike and super buoyant. So in the water, whether you're running this thing on a Texas rig, Carolina rig in it, maybe a finesse shaky head or kind of an upsized Ned head, it's just gonna really be buoyant and give it kind of that defensive posture with the claws up floating. So really cool presentation, and especially if you are using that Ned rig, you know, it's really important to have it in that kind of upward posture as you're bouncing it, dragging it, hopping it along the bottom. Well, that's gonna have you covered with that really, really buoyant plastic. Got a hook channel on here as well just to get it a little bit more weedless, but this thing is awesome, killer. I'm excited to add it to my arsenal, whether it's gonna be on the back of a jig as a little trailer or like I said, as a standalone on any of those other rigging techniques. Cool, versatile, durable, scent infused bait. You guys are gonna wanna check that one out. All right, so we got another one from Nikko. So this is the Nikko Fishing Zaza Super Ned. So again, just like the last one, it's made with their proprietary plastic that is incredibly durable, stretchy, and super, super buoyant. So, you know, as the name implies on this one, gonna be perfect for your Ned rigging. And it has that nice flat bottom, which I do like. That craw has it as well, so it's just gonna marry up with a variety of those Ned jig heads that are on the market. Ribbing on this one, so we have kind of more aggressive ribbing on the bottom, more fine, subtle ribbing on the top, so you're gonna get kind of those, you know, microsonic waves on there. It's gonna push a little bit of water, and it's gonna just feel a little bit more natural, you know. It's got the varying ribbing techniques to it. This little core shot pour, I like it a lot. The colors on this thing, all of the colorways are awesome. But again, highly durable, highly buoyant, has that scent infused in there to expand your strike zone, get those fish to hang on a little bit longer, and they're gonna last a ton of fish. So you definitely wanna check these ones out. Perfect for your finesse fishing. It's gonna be great, getting you bites all year long. All right, let's go opposite of finesse now. Let's upsize here. We got some new stuff from Baitsanity to talk about. So we got the new Baitsanity Explorer 9 Bones glide bait. So Bones, that name is coming from the bare bones packaging. So this thing is gonna add a little bit of value, but what it's mainly geared towards is for that, you know, dedicated swim bait angler that's looking for a customizable option, you know, that garage bait feel. So this one's gonna come with no tail, no split rings, no treble hooks. It's going to allow you to customize this for all of your fishing needs. So Baitsanity, if you haven't checked them out, if you weren't aware, they have a ton of different tails that hatch match, or they're a hatch match series of tails that lock right in super, super easy with their Uconnect system. So you can pop those tails out, pop them back in. You can use multiple kinds of tails. They have a ton of different options. A lot of them are available on tacklewarehouse.com, so make sure to check those out. So you're going to save a little bit of money going with that bare bones package, but most importantly, like I said, for those dedicated, garage bait kind of anglers out there that are looking for that customized look, that customized feel, that are swapping out their treble hooks. Doesn't even matter what the stock bait is coming with, they're swapping it out to their preferred treble hook. This might be one you want to check out with. Save you a little bit of money up front so you can, completely customize this thing out with exactly what gear you want to put onto it. So a cool one from Baitsanity. Baitsanity's also got a storage option for us to check out. So we got the Baitsanity Ultimate Bait Wrap Sling System here. So this thing is just meant for hauling all of your swim baits to and from the lake, whether it's on the boat, whether it's on the bank, whatever the case may be, they got an option to carry it for you here. So really, really cool one. One, super durable. Two, I like it because it's clear too. Sometimes I feel like in a day of fishing, I kind of almost forget what I got in my tackle bag, or if it's in my boat, it's buried in one of the compartments, I forget I have it. Well, this thing is going to have them, always in your face. You can see them all at once, so you're not really going to forget what you got with you. So you can cycle through those things a little bit more, maybe get some bites that you may have otherwise missed. But really cool, really versatile. So when you open this thing up, it actually fully separates out into a bunch of different individual compartments here. So you have the really, really large swim bait wraps on the side, meant for the bodies of the swim baits. And then it also comes with this little tackle box on the interior, and it comes preloaded with some plastic baggies. So if you're using any of those specialized plastics that can melt when they touch other plastics, well, we got those little baggies in there to cover it for you. This tackle box actually has some holes in it as well, just to increase the airflow. Nothing's going to rust if you're keeping some terminal in there. Whatever the case may be, it's just going to keep everything kind of dry, secure. But yeah, so you can load this thing down with a ton of swim baits. You can load it down with accessories with that little tackle box, and then you can take it with you on the go. So this shoulder strap system that they have in here, it is detachable, so if you're running your boat and you just want to toss this in the compartment, absolutely suitable for that. But if you're one of my bank warriors here, you can take this thing with you on the go, and it actually has that little sling to take with you. So cool new storage option for your swim baits. For the guys that are on the go, for my boat anglers, for all of you. If you're a swim bait enthusiast, you're going to check that one out. All right, let's take a look at another storage system here, this time from Sunline. We got the Sunline Camo line storage bag. So pretty unique little storage deal here. I like it because it's also versatile, just kind of like that swim bait storage thing that we just talked about here. So yes, absolutely, this thing is made to hold a bunch of fishing line. You have a bunch of customizable compartments in here, so you can pop this one out if you have giant spools, or if you want to put in a bulk number of smaller spools. You can customize this to your needs. They also have kind of elastic bands on the interior here to hold your swim bait, or your fishing line, excuse me, in place. So this thing's awesome because you don't have to just use fishing line. Reels, you can pop this little divider system entirely out. If you want to throw camera equipment in here, of course tackle, anything you want, you can pack this thing in here. So I'm thinking it's great for my tournament guys, or maybe somebody that's going on a week-long fishing trip. You're going to be respooling line, maybe you might blow up a reel or two, unfortunately, if you got a new one on there or something like that. So you can just bring a ton of line with you, but like I said, it doesn't end at the line. You can absolutely use this for reels, equipment, tackle, gear, whatever you want. Just a cool, nice, versatile bag from Sunline. Dig it. All right, let's talk about a couple of hard baits. Get back in the water here. We got some new one from Freedom Tackle. So Freedom Tackle, they hooked us up with a few new crankbaits. It's their Rad series of crankbaits. So I got a couple of them out here now, but again, head over to tacklewarehouse.com because we got the whole series. There's some square bills that we don't have out that you're going to want to check out. So this first one here, the Freedom Rad Crankbait. Available in 3 different sizes, 3 different diving depths. It's just a cool little crankbait. Really, really realistic looking. It's got a nice durable bill up front that's going to get it to plunge down to its engineered depth quickly. It's going to slice through vegetation well, and it's going to deflect erratically off of any hard cover. So if you bump into a stump, rocks, boulders, whatever it's going to be, it's going to bounce off to the side and then track right back true. So a killer bait for that. It's going to cause a lot of strikes on that reaction bite there. But also, I mean, if you're just navigating some open water, it's going to give it a nice shimmy, a nice wiggle, and then these highly detailed and shimmery bodies, you can absolutely, you don't have to slice through vegetation or crash along any banks. You can run these in open water, and you're still going to get a ton of bites with this high detailing on here. Great action. Like I said, tremendous detailing, a 3D checkered pattern, killer colorways. This one's real nice and shiny, got a great bait fish profile to it. A couple of 3 different 3D eyes on here and some facial features. A pair of razor sharp treble hooks on there, got you set. Anything that comes in to sniff that thing is going to get bit. And then my favorite of this series, of that Rad series, is going to be the Freedom Rad Lipless crankbait. Killer one. So I like this one a lot. It's pretty heavy and it's super aerodynamic. So I mean, you can cast this thing a mile. you can cast it more than a mile. You're gonna need to thumb the spool so this thing doesn't end up in another zip code. So you're gonna be able to cast this thing really, really far, cover a tremendous amount of water, which lipless crankbaits are great for. Because not only are you gonna be able to cover a lot of water, distance-wise, but the entire water column as well. Whether you want to burn this thing right below the surface, whether you want to yo-yo it back to the boat, whether you want to bounce this thing off the bottom almost like a jig, or actually what this thing is fantastic for as well is targeting those suspending fish. They engineered this with a specialized balance of weight so that as you drop this and shimmy it down the water column, it's not going to roll or tumble over on you. It's going to stay upright and just shimmy on down. So those suspended fish that can be really challenging to target, Freedom's got you covered with this. Again, killer detailing on here. We got the oversized 3D eyes on here, great strike point, a bunch of facial features on this one. Awesome colorways. You're going to want to check them out on tacklewarehouse.com. I like this one. This kind of matte craw, fantastic for the spring, summer, beyond. I mean, it's one of my favorite all year colors. Great treble hooks on this thing, but like I said, cast at a mile, has a really, really tight shimmy, sonic vibrations to it, so it's going to call to those fish near and far. One you're going to want to add to your lipless arsenal, which, as just about every angler knows, the lipless game is a year-round game now. So a cool one. All right, we're going to finish up with a new one from Picasso. We have the Picasso Inline Weedless Inline Spinner. So kind of similar to the all-terrain version, now we have just a more finessey version. So the original all-terrain version, which was also designed by Hank Cherry and Lonnie Cochran, it was more of a bulkier full profile. You had the skirt on there. Well, this one's gonna be kind of more of a finesse deal. Still super, super weedless. So you have these titanium weed guards up top. So if you're coming through brush, laydowns, swimming through grass, even if this thing rolls over on you, it's not gonna get hung up with those sweet little weed guards on here that take a pretty aggressive angle back, which I also like, keeps it kind of streamlined. Double barbed keeper system on here to really pin whatever trailer you're putting on here. I'd throw a little swim bait on there, but you could throw whatever you need. And then up front, we have their custom blade on this thing, which is just going to give you a nice combination of that flashing, the vibration, a little bit of thump to it as well. So as you're navigating through those kind of brushier areas, the fish are going to feel this bait and really be able to locate it, track it down, and annihilate this thing. So a killer bait, got the Mustad 3X hook on the back, so when you are navigating some of that thicker cover, you're able to haul those hogs out of that cover. Killer bait, you're going to want to check this one out from Picasso. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. As always, thanks for tuning in, checking out the new products with us, and as always, to learn more about them or to shop for them, click the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, you want to see a ton more like it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and let us know in the comments below which one of these things you're most excited to put to work on the water this season. We'll see y'all next week.